Hello, everyone. My name is Taheri, and we are here today to talk about the Startup Visa Program and the process. We have Top 100 Startups, the Joorney Business Plan, and Taheri Immigration here today. We're going to have a very casual conversation. As you all know, we're all working from home. That's why we are virtually meeting on Zoom. We are hoping that anyone who wants to apply, this is going to make the process more clear and hopefully just clarify the process a bit more. I'm just going to ask everyone to introduce themselves. I'm going to start with myself. So we all have, we work together, we collaborate together as 3 companies. So I have been a practicing paralegal since 2013. I became an immigration consultant a few years ago. I have my own companies, Taheri Legal Services and Taheri Immigration Services. I do specialize in business immigration, specifically Startup Visa Program and Owner Operator. I have had the pleasure of working with Top 100 Startups as a partner and an in-house counsel since 2019. It had definitely been a pleasure. We've been working since I would say 3 years ago with Joorney Business Plan. It's been an amazing journey. I will pass it on to Marianella to speak a bit more about their process and how we collaborate.
Thank you so much, Baroness, for having us, and Sasan and Saba for having us here. It's a real pleasure to be able to talk to clients and let them know how we work so that they can understand the process and they can also enjoy the way that we work and be part of it. So I'll introduce myself. My name is Marianella Mansour. I'm the Vice President here at Joorney Business Plans Canada. I'm an industrial engineer. I'm an MBA, and I've also studied in Harvard. So it's a pleasure for me to be able to help applicants prepare their business plans with our whole team and be part of that journey, let's say, like Farna says, to be able to get ultimately approved and come to Canada, which is the objective that we all have for our clients. So I'll turn it to Saba so that she can introduce herself, and we'll talk more about our company in a bit.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm so happy to be here to do this friendly conversation with you guys. My name is Saba Farouk, and I joined Top 100 Startup as a mentor, and enjoying this cooperation, my responsibility is very extended, and I became the office manager. So now I'm going to ask Oresh to tell us about himself.
Thank you. Yes, let me introduce myself. My name is Uroš Šajkić. I'm an account executive at Joorney Business Plans, and my name is not so difficult to spell as it sounds. So I joined, Joorney Business Plans 2 years ago, and I worked on many projects with Farines and Sasan and Saba. I'm having a great collaboration with Marinella, and we're looking forward to explaining how we work and how we collaborate to our clients in the future, so they can better understand it and join it, hopefully. Yes, I'm passing this to Sasan.
Thank you very much, everyone. I'm Sasan Hagigi. I'm the founder and CEO of the Top 100 Startups with the last S. Also, most of my job was academic jobs, especially in Brain Academy, and also major courses is about the kind of online education. Especially, we are working for all the concepts for the Startup Visa program, and I'm very happy that having me over here today. Very nice. Who is going to ask any question?
Sorry, I was trying to, we're all still getting used to this whole virtual situation. I was trying to unmute myself. That's why it took me a second. I guess we can definitely jump into the questions. Because we usually, going like with the process-wise, we usually do start with, I feel like business plan is an important part of it. So we can definitely start by asking the importance of a business plan, particularly in the startup visa program. So if you can maybe, I guess I would ask Marianella as if you can start by just explaining a little bit of that.
Can you just
Definitely, fairness.
10
Go ahead,
seconds,
Euros.
please, because I spilled my.
Thank you for your question, Farana. So it's important that you mention this, because the business plan is one of the most important parts of the application for the startup visa. And basically what we do is that we need to explain to the different designated organizations why they need to provide a letter of support. And also when the legal process comes, we need to explain to Canadian immigration what is the project that each applicant is proposing. So basically we need to cover several things with the business plan. We need to show that the project or the idea is unique. We need to explain that it's scalable on a global perspective. And we also need to show how it generates jobs. So everything is included within the business plan, which makes it a very crucial part of the application. Okay.
Great.
Okay, yes, I have a quick question. So is this, since you already mentioned the startup visa, is this the only program that you help your clients with, or can you tell us a little bit more about that, Farina?
Sure. I mean, as I mentioned earlier, I do specialize in business immigration, particularly startup visa program. I do cover most of the other immigration streams, but mainly, at least for the past 2 years, since I have partnered up with Top 100 Startups, that's mostly what I've been doing. So I would say specializing in business immigration, but definitely cover other streams of immigration.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Yes, thank you.
No problem.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Farnaz. Now, can I ask a question from Marianella?
Certainly.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Saba.
Okay, what sources do you use to gather all this information for your business plans?
Great, Saba. Thank you for your question. That's a really good question, and it's something that we're usually asked by our clients. So basically, we have different page sources that we use. Mostly, we're going to be using IBIS World, Statista, and we also have Canadian statistics that are specific to the location that we are analyzing. So our research is going to be desk research. We don't do field research. However, we have different free and paid sources depending on the industry that we're focusing on. So we will make sure that the industry and market analysis within the business plan have the information that immigration wants to see.
Good, thank you.
Okay, so I have one question from you, Saba. So I have, can you explain to me a little bit more, what does Top 100 Startup do? What is the main role in the process? Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, for sure. Top 100 Startup, as a professional business consulting, acts like a facilitator. We want to make sure that in this startup visa program, our clients are on the right track for successful application. So we act as the accelerator or the facilitator to make sure everything goes smoothly.
Okay, excellent. Excellent.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Now let me ask another question. Marianella, how long have you been in the market, globally or locally?
Well, we've been in the market for around 8 years now. So we started our journey at Joorney in the US with business immigration, business plans in the US as well. So then we started our Canadian office that was around 4 years already. And we also have an office in Paris. So we are a global company, and later on, I can talk a little bit more about the volume that we handle. So even though it seems like a short time, 4 years, once we talk about the volume, you're gonna feel that we have a lot of expertise in what we do.
Then tell us how many?
Okay, great that you asked, Hassan. So currently we're doing 3,000 business plans a year. So it's definitely a lot. And the way that we do that is, I mean, it's not Uros and me writing the business plans. I'm an immigrant, so I probably will have a lot of typos. So we have a team of 20 writers and 5 project managers. And we assign the different projects depending on the industry or the business that we're working with. So that's how we are able to do a lot of volume. And the fact that we're not a business plan writer for different purposes, but mainly immigration, that's what also makes us special to prepare the startup business plan.
Right.
Yes. Yes, Farines, I have one question for you to continue on the one that I asked Saba. Can you tell me a little bit more about the process? How long does the process take from A to Z with Top 100 Startups and with Taheri Immigration?
Just to clarify, actually, before I answer your question, following what Marianela said, I just wanted to add that we had the pleasure of working with most member of your teams. Honestly, they're all great. I just wanted to add that because you added, I thought I should mention that.
Thank you for that.
Everyone is just so great, so professional.
Absolutely.
And I just wanted to add that. I just thought it was related to what you just said. And answering your question, see, the one thing that I probably should clarify when it comes down to Top 100 Startups and Taheri Immigration, and basically how we collaborate, and me being a partner, basically at Top 100 Startups. So what happened is, at Top 100 Startups, we do the process of obtaining the letter of support. So from A to Z, to basically doing everything, using your help, business plan, pitch deck, and everything else that's involved, training the clients. That's probably Saba will get into further details once she explains. But once all of that is done, which is usually divided into 2 different sessions, we have usually 45 to 60 days of preparing everything and the initial information that's needed, everything that we need to provide to you guys in order to proceed, and then another 45 minutes to get to training and helping basically developing the idea that was brought to us. So for that's usually probably 2-3 months, different cases, different designated organizations. I would say maybe up to 6 months. That's what usually takes to obtain the LOS, the letter of support, in order to have that immigration process. Because without the letter of support, we don't have a startup basically application in order to put it forward for the immigration. So, and then once all that is done, basically Top 100 Startups job is done, they will exit. And then that's when Taheri Immigration comes in. And this is why both of us together, we say we are here with our clients from A to Z, because both of us being together, we can say that we are from the very start, when you have that seeds of idea basically, and then once we submit the PR. And then when it comes down to PR, that's just out of our hands, because once we submit it, it's up to immigration. Processing time changes and everything else that's there. We usually go by when we submit the application. That's when we check the processing time. I usually do that twice. Once I have the initial consultation with my client saying that, well, this is what the website is saying, because that's everyone's question in a sense that how long is this going to take, and which is very understandable. So based on the website, I'm like, today this is what CIC says, and then once we submit the application, I'm like, because it might vary, and we keep checking during the process to go based on what immigration says.
By this kind of explanation by Farines, really, you don't need me.
I'm sorry, I just thought I just have to clarify. I'm sure Sasan will get into more details about the process. How about that?
That's great. Okay.
But that is fast. Just to comment, that is fast. That is really fast. Yes, from your side.
Yeah, tiny bit. Sorry, I know I talk a little too much, but because this process all combined together and we are all at once, it is also very cost effective, because we are eliminating a lot of extra charges that might be involved.
Yes.
By us coming together, we are basically putting the package, which is very time effective and also cost effective.
So a one-stop shop.
Exactly. Now I will mute myself to make sure that you will answer the question.
No, I didn't.
Okay. Good. So Marianela, thank you so much for telling us about your global activities. Now, can you tell us if you have any other operations in other countries aside from Canada? I know you just explained it a bit, but if you want to explain it more professionally, we are more than happy to listen.
Definitely. So in the US, we also handle business plans for different purposes. So we have our immigration operation there. We're doing Those are completely different programs, but just for people to know, we are doing E2s, L1s, EB5s, and EB2s. Those are the names in the US. And we're very strong right now with our Canadian operation. We're doing startup visas, and we're also doing provincial nominee program business plans and other federal programs. We also do business plans for those. In Paris, we're also handling mostly, we're handling business plans for investors, business plans for bank loans. So it's a different operation. We have that also in Canada and in the US. And we are thinking of expanding also to Australia and the UK.
Oh, good.
So it is definitely a global company, and our core is definitely immigration.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yes, another question just to ask you, Farina, is to explain me a little bit about the two-stage process that you mentioned earlier. So tell me about your role in getting the letter of support for your clients. What do you help them specifically from A to Z?
Right. So in terms of basically obtaining a letter of support, so our great team at Top 100 Startups, what happened is, in addition to what I had already explained, is the fact that in terms of preparing and then training the clients in terms of understanding what the business plan is, what happened in terms of developing the idea, because people come to us with just like, I shouldn't say simple idea, but we just like, again, as Sasan will nicely put it, like a seed. We have to develop that, and in order to develop that, we have to make sure the process is very clear. And in order for that to happen, our Saba, with the great mentoring and all other mentors, they make sure that this training is clear enough so that people understand it. And so it's not just delivering, at least with us, with Top 100 Startups, it's not just delivering the letter of support. We make sure our clients understand the process, because down the line, if we get to a peer-to-peer review, that's what it's called with the immigration, we are so confident with our clients. I'm like, you know what? It's not a problem, because it wasn't just you came to us and gave us this little thing and we made it to this huge thing and you have no idea what happened in the process. So basically what happened is during the process, we make sure our clients understand the process. Some are not too happy about it because they actually have to study and work for it, but we make sure they do that. In addition to like language, and probably like get them to speak English if they don't speak English like at the beginning, because we have clients from all around the world. So these are the things that we make sure it happens along with the letter of support.
Excellent. Thank you. Excellent. Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Now, Oris, you ask people a lot of questions. Now let me ask you a question. What is your usual process to prepare a business plan for an applicant?
So yes, the process is mostly the same for all of our business plans. It doesn't matter if it's for immigration or commercial purpose. It's basically the same. We first confirm the purpose of the document, if they're applying for, if it's for an immigration, if they're applying for which program. If it's for commercial, what is the purpose of the document they're looking for? And then when we confirm that, we basically send them the agreement and invoice. They make the payment from their side, and then we send the questionnaire so we can gather the information from their side and get their inputs, as we want to better understand what is that they are planning to do in Canada. Depending on that, when we receive the questionnaire back with the resume and anything that can help us better understand the nature of the business they intend to establish or purchase, then we assign a project manager who reviews the documents and get back to the client or our partner with any additional questions before we start the process. As soon as we confirm everything, we start writing process. We have internal team. Project manager is the supervisor of the writing process. We have a writer that is doing actual writing process, and the proofreader who proofreads every document. When we confirm and finalize the first draft, we send for revision. Now, for revisions, it depends on the projects, but in most cases we offer unlimited revisions to our clients. So basically, until they're not satisfied with what is written in the business plan, we don't finalize it. And then we finalize and send the design version, and we take it from there. We always listen to what they have to say for the corrections of the business plan.
Oh, good. So how long does all the process take?
Well, it usually, let's say for startup visa, it usually takes 10 to 15 business days from the moment when we confirm that we have enough information.
Mm-hmm.
For some other that are less complex, for example, like an LMA owner operator or provincial programs or maybe intra-company transfer or self-employed, we do them in 7 to 10 business days.
Oh, good. And you told us about 4 revisions. It's the number of the revisions you do for all the business plans, or
yes. So
is it
for
case
all of
specific?
them, for all of them, but not startup, we offer unlimited revisions. For startup specifically, because they are more complex projects and they need more time to be written and to be reviewed, we offer 3 revisions in most cases. It doesn't matter if it's a business plan only or a pitch deck presentation as well.
Okay.
Give you a compliment, really, most of the time, even 90% of the time, we didn't need any
revision. Yes.
That is what we are trying to reach. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's wonderful. That's great news. And I also wanted to add that we have had a lot of approvals working together, and that's amazing. I mean, that really guarantees success by working with top 100 startups, and also for the applicant that's working with the whole team, because as I was saying before, it's a one-stop shop, and we have proven the process and that it's been successful with many other applicants. So sometimes you may feel, should I go with them, or should I include a business plan? Where basically by seeing the history that we have working together, that's basically enough for you to feel comfortable. So everybody is welcome to apply and hopefully work together with the team.
Definitely. Great.
Okay. Yes. One question for Sasan, since we didn't.
Oh, finally, thank you.
Okay, what are the differences between the designated organizations? Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes, it's a very good question. Thank you for that. I believe there are many public information about this question, but I'm not going to that part because everybody knows that business incubators, they don't invest on any kind of startup visa program. And also everybody knows that angel investors, they put $75,000 as the investment, and also venture capitals, they put about $200,000 for the investment. But this is not the good differences between them. Let me go deep a little bit about every single of these designated organizations.
Yes, please.
Incubators really, they are look like an institute, educational institute. Incubation is very important. Then the government asks these kind of business incubators to train the applicants. And this is a very, very good part. The second thing is that they don't really trust the kind of business plan that the people are bringing on the table, because most of the people, they are coming from other countries that they are really from 5 to 12,000 far from 12,000 kilometers far from here. But it's not about the distance. It's about the different culture, different business, different tax strategies in those countries. Then this is really important. The business incubators are very important over here. And angel investors are going to put $75,000, but how they do that? Their screening and their due diligence are very, very important, more important than business incubators. Then they are very sensitive with what kind of clients they are going to take, what kind of applicants they are going to apply. When we go to venture capitals could be one of the best part of the story, but not all of them are interested. For example, we have about 32 venture capitals, but just 4 or 5 of them are working for a startup visa program that we are connected to all of them. And also, it's good to mention that we are working with 9 or 10 business incubators and 4 angel investors. But the most important differences between venture capital, angel investors, and business incubators is about how the client is serious to perform that startup visa concept in the country of Canada. It's really important that there is a big difference when they are going to apply. I mean about the applicant. Applicant doesn't need to give any equity to business incubators, but some of the incubators, they get 6 to 8% of the equity. But for angel investors and also venture capitals, it's very important. When they put some money, they really expect some return. Then this could be a very brief differences between three of them.
Okay, so you're not basically helping with all of them, just 9 business incubators, 4 or 5 angel investors, and a couple of venture capitals. And what are their what are their differences?
Yeah, it's really important. We are helping all the applicants for all 3 kind of designated organization. I said that we are working with the venture capitals, also with angel investors and business incubators. And I believe this is not exaggeration. From the first step about 3 years ago till now, nobody can claim such a thing. In the whole consultant businesses in Canada, we are the only company that we are working with all of the designated organization.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you for clarifying that for us. Yes.
Okay, so I have another question to ask Marianella. Would you please tell us more about your team and the load of the work you guys handle?
Yes, definitely, Saba. So as I was saying before, our team, we have a very big team. We have 20 writers and 5 project managers. As Uros mentions, part of the process when we receive the questionnaire is that we assign a project manager, and that project manager would be the person who is communicating with the client or with TOP100 startups all the time. And then they would be communicating with the writer, just for you not to have to speak to a lot of people at once. So those project managers, they channel all the projects, and we have 20 writers, as I was saying, and the volume that we handle is 3,000 a year. So I mean, when I was talking about how long we've been in the business, that we have 4 years in Canada and 8 years in the US, it's really as if we had 3 or 4 more times than that, because the volume that we handle makes us have great expertise.
I believe maybe I have to say a little bit about your expertise. I really think that there is no such company in Canada that they have many different experts, because I have many good experience with advanced manufacturing that one of your project manager, she did really good. That it was about the new smart bicycle that we did it by your company. And also I remember that we started something about the health, and it was in the middle of pandemic. And then one of your project manager really did a very good job about the Zymex company, and that was about the manufacturing a new hand sanitizer that it was never came to Canada. And also I remember something else about the ADHD diseases. That program also was very, very high level program, but one of your project manager did this. And fortunately, all of those projects that I remember were done by your ladies.
Your ladies, he said.
Yeah, memory that one of your guys did something good for us. Then that's a feminist also.
Yes,
that's true.
Yeah, just to add something.
Sorry, Orosh is a very good man, but you are not the project manager and you are not the provider.
I'm not, yes, but just to add something. So the more information we receive for any project, the better the document is, which means that we received a lot of information about the projects from your side. So they were trained really good, and we received a lot of information so we can better understand what needs to be done. And that's why we had 100% success with your clients and with projects working with you.
Makes sense. Yeah.
That is definitely correct. I mean, we always encourage applicants to be as precise as possible. And it's completely different an applicant that just has an idea than an applicant that has gone through the process with top 100 startups. It's a completely different thing. So once we work with the team, we'll have that precise information, and the result and the outcome of the business plan will also be thanks to that. So again, coming back to the teamwork and the fact that we're all working together, that we have experience in what we do, that's amazing. And I really appreciate, Sasan, your comments about the team. We actually have right now 5 women project managers, and we're really proud of that.
Okay.
So yeah, we used to have one man as a project manager, but he's no longer with us. But the ladies are doing a really good job.
Right. I'm so happy.
And also about the different industries that we handle. We're actually, I mean, due to the expertise that I was mentioning and the volume that I was mentioning that we handle, the team has a good way to capture the information and be able to work with any industry, any business. And these are very complex ideas because it's not only, let's say, a cafe that they're purchasing. In this case, with this program, these ideas are usually complex because they are unique. So most of them, you don't have anything similar. So I mean, the team does a really good job, and the information that we get from your firm, it's definitely very complete, and that really helps us be able to handle different businesses and different industries.
Yeah, I'm blessed with that so much ladies in our company.
I hope.
Yes, I hope. Okay, just to better understand the first step, I want to ask Saba, since Farina has mentioned that you are helping them and train them.
Yeah, for sure.
So you must be knowing who can apply and how much money does the applicant need to apply to get the letter of support. Do they need money or they don't? Saba, yes.
You know, anyone who has 3 qualifications of having an innovative idea, who can create jobs in Canada, or whose ideas can globally compete, is eligible to apply. And also, you asked me about how much money they need. You know, it depends on the designated organization we are working with for that special project. And according to the project itself, it varies. So if I want to give you a number, it might be something between 65 to 300. So it really varies, and it depends on the project and also the process, the designated organization, and many different factors for that specific project. And also there are special circumstances, or, you know, it depends.
Yes. Okay. Yes, I understand.
Great. Okay. Now, let me please ask Marianella another question about your different experiences with various industries.
Yes. So as I was explaining earlier, these unique ideas that are coming for the startup visa are usually very complex. A lot of them are in technology. A lot of them are in biotech, in science. There are different applications that are being developed. So usually the team, due to the volume that we handle, the team is very well versed in an array of industries. So it doesn't really matter what industry you are in. We have the capacity of receiving the information and making sure that the outcome is a business plan that is suitable to get the letter of support and also to go through the immigration process. So it doesn't matter what industry you are in. We can definitely handle the business plan writing.
Great, thank you.
So I have a question for Farina. Do you provide them with unique and innovative idea as well if they don't need one, if they don't have one, sorry?
So this is actually a very good question, because we do hear that quite often, and the answer is definitely no, because that's not only that's illegal, that's not even the whole purpose of a startup visa is for someone to having an idea and then basically bringing it here, and as Saba mentioned, with all the qualifications that's needed. But the other thing that a lot of people don't know is that sometimes people come to us, as I mentioned before, we usually call it like the seed. That's like just like a very just like an idea, not even, and they don't even know how unique that idea is or what it could turn into. Our job is to hear what they have to say and elaborate and develop and make them, like, basically show them how unique their idea is and how we can turn it into a business plan first, and then into a whole, make it basically down the line into a startup application. So what it is that, because we work with a lot of different, sometimes consultants and even lawyers, in a sense that is like we have, and we also have obviously our own clients, and we have access to a lot of people that we can create a team, because all these people with the idea will need a team down the line. Sometimes it happens that we get clients that is like, there are like 3 or 4 of them all together. They have already talked about it. They came up with the idea together. That's a different story, but it happens very rarely. So we have to make sure that that team, also the team needs to be properly put together. Otherwise, we'll have a problem with immigration, because immigration is going to question the fact that how these people came together. And sometimes there are people with unique abilities that could definitely contribute to a startup and make it an amazing startup that they didn't have any idea that could have been possible. So that's basically our job. So to answer to your question, no, but in terms of just developing that idea and basically making that what it is as a startup application, that would be our job.
Okay, excellent. Sasan, I didn't hear that much from you today. So I need to ask you, what is your experience working with us? Have you had any successful stories to tell us about?
Really, it is honored that I'm working with you. The first time that I talked to somebody was this nice lady, Mariela, and then I'm so happy that I started such a thing, because it's not just about the collaboration, it's about the time management, about the something that I call it commitment. It's really important that I'm working about 27 years from Australia, Netherlands, in Germany, and also in England, and also here. Really, no exaggeration. This is the first time that I'm so happy that I'm working with a company that everything is working like a Switzerland watch.
Really. Oh, that's amazing, Sasan. Thank you for that. We really appreciate it.
Except the part that Urosh always coming and ask, okay, yeah, pay the money and this and that. That is a little bit not nice, but really I'm proud that we are working with you. It's really important, the project manager that you have. Always they are so specific. They ask the question that never I heard about that. They are really taking care of the question that it is very important on in the side of the immigration officer, and this is really important. And then I appreciate to work and collaborate with you for at least 10 years.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, Sasan. The recognition is mutual. We also enjoy working with your projects, and like we said before, the preciseness of the information that you provide once you have had experience of training and preparing your applicants. I mean, it's really amazing. So it's mutual. It's reciprocal.
Thank you.
Very much.
Now, let me ask Orosh a question. He just asked people questions. Yeah, I want to ask him a big challenge. I want to put him into a very big challenge. So, Orosh, you asked me to send you a lot of documents. Just let us know what type of, what information do you require from the applicant side to prepare the documents?
Yes.
Well, yeah, Sasan mentioned, and I wanted to jump into his answering the question. So there are project managers are really specific with their questions. The reason for that is for us to better understand what the client intends to do in Canada. So in order for us to write a business plan or a business summary or a business concept or a pitch deck presentation, we need to better understand what they intend to do. From the applicant side, we are usually asking for a resume along with the questionnaire, so we can connect it to their past experience. So because it's always an advantage for the client to have a connection with the past experience with the future intended business, so we can show how he will bring a lot of success, a lot of potential growth to the company in Canada, and his application can be successful. So this is essential to the questionnaire. And depending on if they're purchasing the business for some other programs, or they're establishing a new one, if they have a lease agreement, or if it's a franchise business, then we need a franchise agreement, depending on that. But we just need to understand the nature of the business strategy, so we can develop it into the necessary documents. That is the whole idea of that. And often we don't receive an understanding from our clients, why do we need those information. So we are still having some difficulties of explaining why we need them. But yeah, that is the essential for their application, and this is what is really important for us to in order for us to develop a highly qualified business plan for their application.
The reality really is more specific than this, and really it's really difficult to answer all of your project manager question.
It is. That is why I'm saying that we are still struggling, but it's really important for the clients to understand why we are asking them. It's not like we are giving them, we want them to do all the work. No, we're not asking for that. We need their inputs because we don't know where they're coming from, what are their future intentions, who are they bringing with them, are they bringing family members, and how many, basically what are their intentions. So this is why we require all these information.
Right.
Yeah.
And just to add to that, and it's amazing how detail oriented you guys are. And I think that would be the key to a successful business plan we get from you guys, which leads to the success of what we get based on the job that we all putting together. And I think that's the key to why this collaboration is working the way it's working, because of everything that we're all basically doing for our clients.
Exactly. That is what I mentioned in the past. I mentioned that we received a lot of information from your side that is really amazing to use in the business plan, and that's why we have 100% success in the business plan with you and with your company. Yes. And
perfect.
Yes. And how, from your perspective, how important for the client is to have a business plan actually in the application?
The business plan is the core. It's the most important, and it's the vital thing that we need to run all this process, because the business plan can prove the freshness, the originality, the novelty, the ingenuity of an idea. So it's very important. I think that's the core for whatever we are doing.
Yes, excellent.
I can add something that right now I wrote it over here. The business plan brings the applicant from hallucination or illusion to the reality, to the real life. This is really important.
It really does.
Yeah.
It is. That is true. Nice said. Yeah.
That's a nice way of putting it. That's very true.
Yes.
Very accurate.
Thank you.
Okay, let me ask Marianella about the market research and how do you guys conduct it in your company?
Okay, thank you, Saba. So we have two different types of market research. So first is the market analysis, where we conduct a market research in order to add a section in the business plan that is market analysis. So we analyze the location, because it's not the same if you are going to be in Ontario than if you're going to be in BC, or depending on where you're going to be competing, where you're going to be doing your business, and where your location is. So we usually conduct a research for our business plans, for what we do, correct? Aside from that, for people who perhaps are not ready for the business plan yet, we also offer preliminary services such as a market research. So for example, if there is somebody who who handles a particular industry, let's say hand sanitizers in other countries, but they don't know how it works in Canada. And they want to do a preliminary market research before they even think about immigrating. So, so we do that too. We have a department that is the market research department, and we conduct that type of research. We use different methodologies. We use desk research. In that case, we also do in-depth interviews. We do mystery shopping. We do pricing analysis. So in case somebody wants that initial step before going into the business plan, we also do have that service. So I believe we haven't done it yet with Top 100 Startups, because most of the research within the startup visa comes after the idea has been set. And then we haven't had that opportunity. But if that comes up, certainly we have that option as well.
Thank you.
Yes. I have one question for Rinas to explain to me a little bit about the process. So besides the business plan, what other documents they need for their application? Do they need a pitch deck with a business plan? What they need for a legal purpose as well? Do they need to register the business? Can you tell me a little bit about the documentation for their application?
For sure. I'm not going to get into the details of it, because I have like a checklist of 4 pages when it comes down to immigration side of it. Because what we did today, we talked about the business and basically what's needed for the business application side of the startup visa program. But then when it comes down to the immigration side of it, we need, aside from the personal education and employment history, a few important things would be a clean criminal record. That's mostly people usually probably know that, but it has to be like a clean criminal record that's required for PR. And then we eventually down the line, after the submission, closer to the like I would say 6-7 months into the process usually, and not considering the pandemic processing time, they get to the medical, like they have to pass the medical, and these are the key and the main point that's definitely required from the applicant. So because we do our best when it comes down to the business application, and then when it comes down to putting together the application for submission, but these are a few key things that the client needs to be aware of it. So if you don't have these things, you will definitely have a problem with PR.
Okay,
but these are the things that basically they need.
Okay, so they basically need a clean criminal record from their home country, so they can apply to the program.
It's basically by immigration laws is their home country, or basically any countries they lived more than 6 months after they turned 18.
Okay, excellent.
Sometimes, especially again with the pandemic, I've had clients who've been waiting even for like for the record from UK for like 6-7 months now. It usually doesn't happen with all the countries, but I mean, pandemic just slowed down everything at this point.
Yes, it did, unfortunately, yes.
Yeah,
sure. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Okay, perfect. I think that would conclude the questions and the discussions for today, unless anyone else wants to add anything. Okay, yes. I wanted to say that we really had amazing journey, with Top 100 Startups since we started the relationship with you. You initially, as you mentioned, started first conversation you had with Marinella, and now you're mostly communicating with me day to day. But we never had any troubles getting the information from your side related to the projects. We were always respecting what was expected from your side, and also in the opposite way. So we really like working with you, and I'm really glad that we had an opportunity to discuss about the startup visa, about your part of the applicant's process and our parts in it. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Uros. I definitely agree on that. Working with Top 100 Startups has been a great experience. We do get some clients that come to us directly, but honestly, we always encourage them to get professional help from immigration specialists, and also people who know about the program, who know what the startup visa really is about, and who has the connections in order to make everything from A to Z, like Farna said, work. So it's great to be part of a team working with a company like you. So we really appreciate the fact that you invited us to this conversation, and hopefully a lot of people will listen to it and ask for your services, and we're here to help. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you everyone. And I'm so happy that it was not look like advertising or some kind of video for having some kind of clients or applicants. It's very important. I hope this video can help the applicants to have the transparent information about the startup visa program. And also here, I ask all the applicants and those that they are going to see such video to ask any further, any extra question that they have, and we are ready to make some extra videos for them. Thank you very much.
Just to add something following, that's exactly what was the intention of this whole video, was basically because it could, the startup visa, if not explained correctly, it could be very confusing. And we have this conversation on a daily basis. So our hope was to just basically to bring the key people to this whole process, at least the ones we work with, to make sure that people will understand the process. And I'm sure a lot more questions is going to probably come up. And as Sasan mentioned, we'll be more than happy to probably answer the questions in the upcoming videos.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone. And on behalf of Top 100 Startups, I really appreciate your kind words, you dear Joorney team. And I want to say something to our interlocutors. I want them to send us any questions they have, because we can cover all those questions in our upcoming sessions and in our future conversations.
Perfect.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Take care.